All right, now let's take a look at adding an area rug to one of these areas. So this is going to involve a new floor type. So I'm going to go back to my architecture tab, floor command, and I'll start out by sketching this. For the area rug, you probably have a set size in mind, which is good. That'll be helpful for when we apply the pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and just go with a 9x6. Actually, I think 9x5 is more typical, I think, but it might be custom based on what you're doing there. So we're going to go with the 9x5 for this. Right now it's still set to floor 1, so I need to go into edit type and duplicate. And you can actually do this after you finish the sketch as well, either or. But if you do finish the sketch, right now I'm going to get an error that the highlighted floors overlap. And the reason for that is, if we cut a section view through here, right now, if I go to view, you'll see that I basically just created a floor within my floor, right? So I want to make sure for the area rug, I'm going to raise it up just an inch for the sake of the model. You could do it lower. I know technically that would be a tripping hazard, but it will show correctly graphically for this. And then I still do have an overlap though, right? Because I have this thickness of these two floors embedded into each other. And that's something that we want to avoid in Revit, of having these two geometries overlapping. So as I go into edit type here and I duplicate to create a new floor type, I'm going to call it area rug, 1 or living space, or whatever that would be. As I go into the structure here, I want to make sure that for this one, I don't actually need to have 2 layers. I can just delete that and just have the 1 layer. And if it only has a 1-inch thickness, then I'll go ahead and say okay and okay. And there we go. So now I've raised it up 1 inch offset from level 1, and it's only 1 inch thick. So I no longer have an overlap issue between the two. All right, so I'll go back in here into edit type, and we're going to create a new material. First up though, let's go find a material for this. So let's go for um, area rug. So this would be something again where you're looking for an image on something, looking for what you would like. Again, you need to make sure that it's going to be a floor plan view. And you do need to make sure that it is clean cut on the edges, okay, that you don't have any border. So I just got blocked because of the security on my computer here. We'll find an image here though. I don't recommend something with fringes. That's going to look a little bit weird, but something like this one might work. So I'm going to save the image. And again, this is something that you'll spend some time doing, of just kind of building up your library of images. You might be able to find something online, the 3D warehouse might have a better source of images for that there's really no clean cut answer on that. You do have to spend some time building up your own library. And you will have to create a sign in for the 3D warehouse. Okay, so we're going to see how that the Persian rug, that red one, is going to work for us. So I'll go ahead and create a new material. Again, really important to create that new material every time. I'm going to rename it area rug. And then I'm going to go ahead and load in that image for it. And I bet it's in my downloads and not on my desktop. 1 second. And that might be something that happens to you, so you'll want to check that. Or it just didn't download. Let's try this one more time here. Oh, that's because of the file type. I want a JPEG or a PNG. All right, we'll try this one. And this one might have a border on it. If so, it'll be a good lesson for you to see what that border looks like and why you wouldn't want that. All right, so I'll go ahead and load that image. Yep. So you can see that border. This will be a good example of why you don't want the border. If you do get an image with that border, you'll just need to crop it down to be clean around the edge of the rug. That you can see here, that's set to 1 foot by 1 foot on the scale. I want to change that so that it's true to the size of my rug, which is going to be that 9 by 5. And did unlock that. If I had left it locked, then these two would always be the same, but I'm going to unlock it so that I can have a 9 foot high by 5 foot for this. There you go. So you can see there the importance of that border, right? Not having it. Also in the preview, it doesn't always have to be the sphere. You can change the scene. I find it helpful for their area rugs to switch it to, either like to the canvas or a plane. That way it's more similar to what you would see for an actual area rug. So I'll go ahead and hit OK and OK. And there you go. So now you do have that image applied. Again, good example of why you don't want to have the border on there for that. And also you can see that's a little bit offset for what we want. So that's something that you also have to work with. Um, Unfortunately, this is not an exact science for the way that we apply the materials like this. But if I come back into my material, I can adjust click back on the image, I can adjust the offset and the start point here. And you can start to shift that over or up or down as needed to move that image around to make it look correct. So it is something you do have to work with. So that looks pretty good on the Y. The X would need a little adjustment there, but you just go back into that asset manager and move it around. I would recommend doing a new floor type for each area rug, as that you'll likely be scaling that image to fit the exact size of that rug each time. All right, so that would be creating an area rug in Revit.